Al Arbor sends Bryan Trottier to center ice. Brad Gilbert on the left side. Mike Bossy on the right wing with Fairson and Potvin at the blue line. Casper on the faceoff, and Trottier breaks in quickly. He scores! Trottier, 5 seconds into the hockey game.
Yeah, 7-time Stanley Cup winner Bryan Trottier in the house, baby.
All our friends thought we were going to the NHL, and I snuck away at about age 14, played in the big city of Swift Current, junior hockey, and lost all my teeth, all my front teeth. Went to school, got 4 subjects in 2 years. I mean, it was just really a lot of travel out west, but it was special. It's commitment, and it teaches you you got to bear down, you got to find a way, you got to make sure that you want this with all your might, because I'll tell you, it tests you at times, like getting ragdolled by monsters and getting beat up, and then going to school the next day with black eye, fat lip, and being all embarrassed. But going out and scoring goals was a lot of fun, and making friends with teammates and finding a way to get to the NHL, I'll tell you, it was all worth it.
As a fan, that's awesome to hear. I was about to ask you, I mean, do you have any regrets? And clearly I know the answer to that. Of course you don't. Out of all the Stanley Cups, is there anyone that sticks out to you as a favorite, or are they all equally as memorable? Are they all just different for different reasons?
The first one's special because it's the first one, so your dream come true. So that has a special spot, but being the dad for the first time. I think, but how do you pick a favorite child? You know, it's like, they're all special, they're all unique. The path you took to win them, the teams you beat to get there. And then sometimes you scored a goal against the team you played against, and now that becomes your favorite. But they're all really, really good. I mean, the one I won as an assistant coach in Colorado was unique because I didn't bleed with the guys, but I had my pom-poms and preparing those guys in the locker room. And when they come back to the bench, they look you in the eye and like give you the wink. You're like, all right, guys, a little preparation worked, and then tweaking things along the way and making it all come to fruition was really special. So you know how hard it is to win, and the sweat and the blood that goes into it, and the appreciation you have for those players at the end of that run is fantastic. And like Joe Sakic was on that team, Patrick Waugh, the goaltender. We had some great players, Peter Forsberg, and it just made that championship that much special to be able to win it with great players. In a great city of Denver. I hope it happens down here in Tampa again. I mean, it's a great championship city. It's great.
Let's hear it for the Bulls, best team in the league right now. At what point did you realize being in the NHL was an actual reality for you? I mean, every hockey player, or I would think every hockey player dreams of being in the NHL one day. It's just a natural thing to dream of, the highest heights. So at what point for you was it like, hey, this is maybe potentially a reality for me?
Well, going to training camp in September and being on the ice with the pros is a good test. It's a good gauge. And you say, oh my God, these guys are fast, but I'm kind of keeping up to them, not bad. And you make a pass, like, oh my God, they make good passes. Oh, this is really, the game's so fast. And you testing yourself, and then all of a sudden the coach come up and said, you might want to find a place to stay for the next few weeks. And you think, oh my God, does he mean forever? And you really don't push the envelope. And then finally they give you that first paycheck. When October 15th comes on, the first paycheck comes, you're like, oh my God, I get to take all this money to the bank. They're paying me this much money to play this crazy game. I think that's when you realize, I really got to get serious about this, because this is something, I want to get another one of these paychecks. And it's fun playing the NHL. It's fun playing these guys against that kind of caliber talent. And it really is a test. And how long can I do it? Can I do it for 1 year, 2 years? I signed a 5-year contract. Can I do it for the whole 5 years? And I ended up playing 18 years, so go figure. Lucky me.
So is it safe to say you never take a day for granted in the National Hockey League?
No, I lucked out. I think it's a special part-time of your life, and if you take anything for granted, I think things that come back and bite you in the butt. So I think for all of us that play in the NHL, it's a privilege. You take nothing for granted. It's a special time of your life.
I take no days for granted in the beer leagues, just for the record. Growing up, who was a childhood hockey player that you looked up to?
God, I hope people remember these names. Gordie Howe was probably the first one that I can remember, like when I was a little kid, because that was my dad's favorite. He's from Saskatchewan, he's from Floral, Saskatchewan, just north of our town, probably a couple 100 miles. So that was a big deal. He was playing the NHL. I said, well, if Gordie Howe can find a way from Saskatchewan to the NHL, maybe I have a shot too. But there's great players playing in Montreal. Jean Beliveau was a great star for the Montreal Canadiens, the captain. That's my earliest memory of somebody hoisting up the Stanley Cup on the ice was Jean Beliveau. Stan Mikita was tearing it up in Chicago. ago. Then there's young guys like Gilbert Perreault, Bobby Orr came along. Love those guys. I didn't play like any one of them, but I just loved how their skill and how they played. So I tried to pattern yourself around them a little bit. But I was just kind of this little short fella that kind of like bumping people and you know, contributing a little bit on offense and helping the defense out and win a couple face-offs. But I sure like hoisting that Stanley Cup. It was a lot of fun.
As a goaltender, I'm a goalie for those of you who didn't know that. Probably all of you, unfortunately. But anyways.
Very stingy goalie.
Yeah, very stingy goalie. Very stingy. My goals against average is like a 6, which in BHL is pretty darn good. In your opinion, who is the best goalie of all time? I'm really putting you on the spot, so you can obviously say more names if you want.
Well, I think like for when I played, they had a goaltender in Montreal. It was a big goaltender, Ken Dryden. He was like 6'3", 6'4", and he covered a lot of net, even when he was on his knees. John Davidson, same thing in New York. The bigger goalies, the tall goalies, for whatever reason, just seem to look bigger in the net. And if you look at the goaltenders of today with the bigger equipment, there's some great goalies that are playing today. Patrick Waugh and obviously the players of that era, Brodeur in New Jersey, they've got 400, 500 wins. I mean, they've had great careers, so I'm not going to knock them because Patrick was as stingy as they come, as was Martin Brodeur. But you got the goaltenders in the league right now. God, you can pick them. I'm a big Lundqvist fan up in the range. I think he's a great goalie. You know, not my Islanders, but I just like the way he plays. And those kind of goalies that are like athletic and jump around the net, they're not just relying on being big, are the goaltenders I like to watch.
I can't disagree with you there. Yeah, that's about
like your style, you know, much like your style, you know, that athleticism shows.
Yeah, pure athleticism. Although it's beer league, you know, maybe the scouts are watching. You never know. Bryan, it's an honor to meet you and to interview you. And thank you so much for being here. It's really awesome. Everyone, give him a round of applause. 7-time Stanley Cup champion. Wrap your head around that.
All right,
I can't.